He wants to show you. Why not let him show you? Hey, what's that odor? It's Lazy's leftover. He wants to show ya. Gotta let him show ya. Say, what's that odor? Must be Lazy's leftover.
Broadcasting live from the Just Bleed Radio studios in beautiful downtown Cleveland, Ohio.
What's going on, Bleeders? Welcome back once again. It's your boy LazyBed, and this is Lazy's Leftovers. You are tuned in to Just Bleed Radio. This is the home of casual content for combat connoisseurs, and you are catching us live on a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday evening, depending on which part of the world you're in. But either way, like I said, it's your boy LB, and I am here with my two usual co-hosts, coming to us from across the pond over in the UK, in the north of England. He's your boy, DangerMouse. DM, what's happening, man?
It's all good, man. Looking forward to having a chat. I know we've got a few things to talk about. And I have a bottle of chocolate and orange stout, so I'm very happy at the moment.
All right, that's different. It sounds pretty good, though. And then also joining me, like I said, our usual co-host, my boy, coming out of the West Coast, Best Coast, the Sunshine State. He looks to be MIA right now in his photo, so hopefully I'm not introducing him when he's not ready. But it's our boy, No Special, a.k.a. Austin. What's going on, Austin?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I was trying to adjust this lighting and seating arrangements. Yeah, I'm good. Still reeling from the recording we did yesterday. But not bad. I can't complain. We'll try to rehydrate, but good to go.
Yeah. Yesterday was an experience, and it's something that I think the Bleeders are going to get to experience, I believe, on Wednesday. A little bit of a teaser there. Yesterday, we did complete the JBR Fantasy Draft for 2026. It is in the books. Super Dave, editor extraordinaire, is working on it as we speak, I'm sure, and it'll be coming to you with a nice live premiere on Wednesday evening. I would imagine probably typical 7 p.m.-ish like we usually do, something around there. But yeah, the JBR draft was something this year. It was really something. I think this is going to be good content for the Bleeders.
Understatement of the year.
Hosted by DangerMouse. A little heads up to the peeps there. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, though. It was a good experience. But yeah, so this is Lazy's Leftovers, and you know how we do things around here. We just kind of kick around a couple of topics, whatever's floating around in the MMA space that might be of interest or present some value in discussion. But as we begin, I would like to say, and I would be remiss if I did not say, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We are still on the march towards 300 subscribers. And every time we gain a couple, we seem to lose a couple. So help us out and get us more towards the positive, get us into the black, as the bettors say. But nevertheless, yeah, so we're going to get into a couple of topics here. And then, as always, we will continue to talk to the chat throughout the show. So if you got something to say, go ahead and pop in there. I already see our guy Beaver in the building mentioning that it is actually Monday morning in Australia, so it's not Sunday for everybody, but close enough. You know what I'm saying. What's going on, Beaver?
Should have known that when JK asked, because obviously Denny still submission radio at some stupid hour of the morning.
Oh yeah, god awful time in the morning before he goes to work.
Oh,
yeah, so
God,
fucking
that's right.
Kudos to you, Beaver, for even being up at this time and being in here. Fuck.
That's a dedicated fan.
So yeah, a couple of topics that we can get into today, and I guess we'll lead off the show really with one of the more positive stories in MMA recently, one of the few, and it's one that's just kind of come out over the last day or two. There were some hints to it a couple weeks back. There was a video, I believe, an Instagram story from one Nick Diaz stating that he was continuing to prioritize his health rather, and was in treatment for some addiction issues. And what it is. I'm not going to speculate, but nevertheless, he posted an update, folks, over the last day or so, and it turns out that Nick Diaz has completed his time in rehab. He has fully detoxed, I guess you would say, and he is now back home, looking good in the photograph, looking happy, looking healthy. So not really a story here, just more so kind of a feel-good thing. I don't know if you guys just wanted to comment on it, remark on it briefly. What do you think of Nick Diaz being back home and looking good, looking healthy for the first time in a long time? We'll go to you first, DangerMouse.
Yeah, very happy. I've always liked Nick. He's my favorite Diaz brother. I used to really, really enjoy his fights. He was in some spectacular ones. Not his last one in the UFC, sadly. But yeah, looking healthy, looking good. I hope everything goes well for him. And that's all I can really say. Congratulations, Nick.
Yeah, man. I think that lady in the photograph with him, I would share it if we could, but again, my capabilities are minimal. But the lady in the photograph with him, I think that's his longtime girlfriend. And I think that's the one that was kind of setting the record straight during all this. There was a lot of people that were kind of spreading rumors about what was going on with him and what was true and what wasn't true. We didn't really know. And she's kind of the only one who kept it real and kind of cut us the straight dope throughout this whole thing, per se. So shout out to her for holding Nick down, as they say, and being there for him, because it seems like they got a pretty good bond and relationship. Austin, what do you think, man? I know we all love the Diaz brothers. We're as big of fans of them as anyone. So how do you feel about this positive turn of events and Nick coming home and looking good?
You know what? Having had family members and whatnot struggle similar situations, it's nice to see that sometimes you kind of got to let them find themselves, and Nick seems to have figured it out, thankfully, sooner rather than later. A lot of people don't get to that point, or figure out too late that something's off or wrong. And it's good to know that he has support. We're always going to support fighters regardless of their situation in their after fighting careers and whatnot. Nick was a special case because everybody remembers his anti authority in fight style. Like he's that kind of guy that's like the outlier for a lot of things for us. And it's good to see him have the support that he has, a partner specifically, and she's, like you said, been there making sure he's for better or for worse, like getting the treatment that he needs. And that's good to know. And when fighters are done fighting, and I'm hoping to God that he's done fighting, because I don't want to see him fight anytime soon or at all, because I think he's doing okay now. All right. So yeah, good for him, man. I think it's hard to say sometimes, but like it's good to have good stories, even if it's just something like non-fight related in MMA. Like this is good for us. It's nice to have good things every so often.
Yeah,
just going to report some fake news there. I am not necessarily a fan of the Diaz brothers. I'm a fan of Nick.
Fair.
That's true, but you got to kind of take one with the other. They're kind of a package deal. Like,
yeah, that's
you could favor one over the other. I'll say that much. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always good to see a fighter that we kind of watched grow up in front of our eyes, and we grew up alongside them. Really, in the case of Nick, I think for a lot of us, it's nice to see them go through a dark patch like this and then come out the other side and really seem like there's a positive hope for the future and some silver lining to those dark clouds. Because if anyone has the toughness and the mental fortitude to do it, it's going to be a Diaz brother, man. Those guys, they could go through wars and come out the other side beaten and battered and still maintain their pride and maintain their self-belief and things like that. So nice to see somebody like him who, with the chip on his shoulder and some of the personal demons that he had, it's very easy to go down a dark path like that. So to turn it around, hopefully for good, everybody knows things like addiction and stuff like that. It's a one day at a time, as cliche as that sounds. But as long as he can keep continuing to put one foot in front of the other and having a positive impact on his life, I think it's a good thing to see. Whether he comes back to fighting or not, happy for the guy.
Yeah, one other thing I will say, maybe hanging around with his brother and that crowd as an addict might not be the best option with the amount of weed that's going to be floating around.
True, yeah. Although I don't know what his addiction was, but yeah.
No, but I know just from hearing Eminem talk about it, sorry to bring him up, but his addiction's fairly public. And he doesn't mind. He will go around places, and it's his crew that freak out and go, no, don't smoke weed near him. But so yeah, I know they try and stay away from it, and obviously
for some people, it is that classic gateway kind of a thing.
Well, it's in one of his songs. Eminem stopped where he's drinking. He says he never had a drink problem. That was never it. But he can't drink anymore either because he knows that'll set him onto the pills.
Yeah.
Yeah. DangerMouse, do you have the audio?
Happy topic for Andrew Nance to walk into.
Do you have your YouTube audio on, DangerMouse?
No, I do not.
Getting some feedback.
Definitely. The only audio I have on that I can see is StreamYard.
Mute yourself for a moment. Check. Yeah, it's coming from your end.
Check.
Let me see if I can figure out what it is.
All right, well, yeah. In the meantime, we will move it along, though, to the next topic of the day. Shout out to Andrew Nance for popping in the chat. Always good to have Nance in here. One of our fellow weighing in moderators. Let's go.
No, dude, yes.
Oh, speaking of weighing in, not to get off topic, but possibility, folks. You might see our very own No Special here on weighing in coming soon. Josh Thompson now taking listeners to come on and have discussions and debates with him. Austin's a prime candidate for just that.
I wouldn't mind having a friendly chat with the punk Josh Thompson.
Yeah, I didn't think you would. I did not think you would. But yeah, so anyway, moving on to the next topic now that we seem to have our audio situation figured out.
Is it okay
RAF, now? Yep, sounds better to me.
Okay, cool. I didn't do anything.
Well, it worked. So yeah, speaking of things that didn't really do anything and may or may not have worked, RAF Wrestling last night, Real American Freestyle Wrestling, held their 5th event. I believe this was in Florida, Sunshine, Florida, I want to say. And that's why MMA Fighting's Mike Heck was actually in attendance and doing interviews. Good to see Mike Heck on location doing in-person interviews, even if it's at something like an RAF. But nevertheless, they held their 5th event last night in Florida, an event that was lined with current and former UFC stars, I guess you would say. Names the likes of Yoel Romero, Armand Sarukian, Colby Covington, supposed to be Bo Nickel, Luke Rockhold, a couple of others. But anyways, they had their event last night, and it did go down. I'm not sure either of you caught any of it. Maybe the highlights?
I did not, unfortunately. Busy. But I did see some of the results and some of the non-news that came out of it. You know, I'll let you kind of set it up, but I have some interesting takes. Go ahead.
What about you, DM? Did you catch anything? Highlights, anything?
I was trying to watch the highlights before the show. As I explained to Lazy, I mistimed my dinner, so I was trying to scoff that down and I should have been listening. So no, I didn't actually manage to hear anything. I heard that Colby won. He defeated Luke Rockhold. That was really all I heard. The only thing I can say is stop calling your promotion RAF. Everybody knows that the RAF is the Royal Air Force. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different things that, like, well-known things that already use that acronym. But so yeah, you guys really didn't miss too much. If you're into wrestling, freestyle wrestling or collegiate wrestling, I guess it could be a pretty enjoyable experience. But I don't know, man. Their events just don't get my druthers. They don't really tickle my fancy very much. First off, it's broadcast on a service, Fox Nation, which I'm never going to subscribe to.
Thank you.
them for anything. Political leanings aside, I'm just, what the fuck am I going to subscribe to a fucking like basically news platform for sports for only one sport? It's very weird. But anyways,
Yeah.
so the platform is interesting. I will say the event pacing and the way that they their production is done, it's pretty good. It's pretty high quality, but they have a lot of financial backing, obviously. And then as far as the matches themselves go, they get a pretty solid number of like well-known names in the wrestling world, former college stars, guys that maybe have gone through Olympic trials. Austin would know more about these things than I, some of those names, but they get a solid number of decent wrestling names, and then they get plenty of the MMA cast-off names. But really, the topic and story of the whole thing was the fact that Bo Nickel was supposed to be facing Yoel Romero. They were set to face off. I believe it was 200 pounds. I don't know. It was some weight class like that, 200 to 205. But long story short, Yoel missed weight, and he missed weight pretty largely. And Bo pulled out of the matchup. And there's a lot of back and forth amongst the fan base. Is that a bitch move on Bo's part or not? Should he have just gone through with it? Yoel's like fucking 50 years old. You know, this is a bullshit wrestling event. It doesn't really mean much of anything. Like, what are you doing pulling out of this? Or did he have a right to pull out? And was he, I don't know what the word to look for is, but was he not a bitch for pulling out? Was he in the right for pulling out and actually had a fair point? Because Yoel did miss so hugely. I believe he missed by 7 pounds. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that story? I should add the caveat that I read online this was a last minute change from the way that they typically do their weigh-ins. Usually they would do their weigh-ins a day or two before, but a couple of days prior to the event, they switched it to weigh-ins the day of. So that could change things a little bit there. So basically what I'm asking you guys is, should Bo Nickel have gone through with this? Yoel Romero is 50 years old. This is a bullshit wrestling match. What do you think?
Austin Mouse, first. Do you want to? Oh, okay.
Well, since Austin, you'll probably go long. Let's actually go to Mouse first. Let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Unless he's got a mouthful of nuts.
He might have that nut.
My mic was muted. My mic was muted. I've lost my train of thought now. What was I going to say? I had something. I didn't. Obviously, that was it. I wasn't massively paying attention to what Lazy was talking about there because I was watching the chat and saying hi to Jan Paul, and I noticed Dave Sandin's in there as well, and Zombie. Hi to all those guys. While I fluster for time here. No, I didn't really hear much about it, and didn't honestly hear much about what you said about it either. But yeah, against a 50-year-old guy, yeah, you should have fought him, Bo. You're a pussy.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Like, that's kind of the whole thing. So Austin, what do you think, as the former wrestler, as a guy who has done this sort of thing, has been on the mats, has embraced the grind? What do you think? You know, it's 7 pounds, and yeah, that's a pretty hefty amount, but I'm sure they were both getting paid handsomely. This isn't going to affect your standing in the sport you're actually pro in right now. So what do you think? Was this a bitch move, or was Bo in the right?
It's kind of a tough question because it's the manner of which they went about the weigh-ins. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think you did weigh-ins when I was wrestling in high school and tried to do the junior college route. They had weigh-ins the day of the competition, so you would weigh in the morning of, and then you'd have the competition throughout the day. I wrestled in high school 135 freshman year, 145 like 141s sophomore junior year, and then went to 52s, got injured, and then went back up to went up to 60. So it's like you could just walk in if you're like however your weight is, like from dieting prior, like you're cutting 10 pounds probably the day of, or floating to the weight, not eating the day before, maybe the night before, and then just kind of floating down from where you're like 1 or 2 pounds over, and then by morning you'll have like that float weight kind of come off of you, and you're just kind of on target usually by that time, and you just kind of weigh in, and then you have the rehydration, eat something, that's not going to weigh you down too hard, and then you go in, wrestle the rest of the day. Now, if they were already doing the day before, that means Yoel was probably cutting about maybe 20 pounds week of, because he's a big boy, even if he is older. So I'm imagining he probably had a good reason to probably miss weight. Not because Yoel has had issues in the past with making weight, professionally. And it's not to the fault of to Yoel in this situation, because if, like you said that they had changed the way they were doing it, I think the day before. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, maybe 2 days before, but either way, he had like 48 hours notice at best to change.
Yeah. And the fact that he was 7 pounds off means that he probably was cutting pretty decent amount of weight. So, and again, it's one of those things where it's like, maybe you should walk in lighter, but maybe one of those things where it's like, yeah, you signed a contract, you're agreeing to do the thing at a certain weight. That's Bo's right to do that. Is it good for his, picture, or his fighter image? Probably not. It's,
Right.
because you're supposed to be the guy that's like shows up. Yeah, I'm like one of the best guys in the world at this. Like, he's a multi-time national champion and a qualifier for the net to represent the U.S. Like, he was like a runner-up. So like him losing to Yoel in the wrestling sense would have probably hurt, especially since we saw what happened to Lance Palmer against Armin Sarukian, and Lance Palmer was talking up a big game. And it's one of those things where it's like, in the fight world, it probably doesn't hurt him nearly as much if he was to lose to Yoel, because Yoel is still physically gifted somehow. He's a freak of nature. But it would have definitely hurt him in the wrestling sense. Like, oh yeah, this guy was like a silver medalist in the Olympics like fucking 30 years ago, right? and, and he beats a fucking former national champion and recently transitioning from international wrestling to MMA, Bo Nickel. If Yoel handled him like he would have, I thought he probably would have. That would have been bad. That would have been bad for his image. Oh God!
It could have been.
I think he ducked it. Not to say that he chose not to because he was afraid. I think it's like one of those things. He had a built-in excuse. So, I get it. I'm not going to hold him, to it. But kind of I get it. Not going to say you should have, but still.
Yeah.
Have you seen the question from Rob in the chat, Lazy?
I have. And I would like to point out here. Great point from Jan Pol, actually. I kind of agree with her here. It's not like he was in danger of getting hurt. It's not an actual fight. It's a side quest. It's a little jaunt in your off time. I like
the comment after that one that she made, or he made.
Let me go back to the live chat because I had saved that one. What am I looking at here? Oh yeah. He just bitched out against the exactly, yeah, it's true. But I think that at the end of the day, Bo could have taken the match, and even if he had lost it, like, I understand your point, Austin, he would have taken a hit as far as his amongst the wrestling community, and his acumen there, but it wouldn't have been that bad considering what Yoel had just done in his last outing in RAF, where he looked phenomenal. And then to actually see what happened, because Yoel did stay on this card and he did continue to compete. It was interesting to see that he did not look very good, despite staying on the card after missing weight. So maybe Bo would have fared better against him than we ever imagined. But anyway, to move on to the question from, was it Rob Loria you said, DangerMouse?
It was, yeah.
Yes. What's up, boys? Did you see Colby call out Bo Nickel last night at RAF for a fight at the White House? Is this the one you're talking about?
Yeah, oh, dear God.
Well, to touch on Colby real quick before we get into this question, Colby did defeat Luke Rockhold via a tech fall 12-0. What that exactly means, American. I don't fucking know, but he did very, very well is what it means. I was saying, I was watching part of it with last night. Gaff was doing a watch along, and I was in there. He was doing it for boxing, and I was in there watching multiple events. But Luke Rockhold's like primary freestyle wrestling technique seemed to be doing splits, because that's all he kept doing. He was like spamming this technique where he kept doing a split to like defend the takedown, and it was a bit dicey, a bit zesty, as the kids say. But anyway, Colby Covington took out Luke Rockhold and did it very convincingly. Afterwards, he would call out Bo Nickel for a fight potentially at the White House. As far as interest in that, I don't actually have any, but Colby made another call out while at RAF after his win. He called out George St. Pierre for a wrestling match next in RAF. That I would kind of like to see. I wouldn't mind seeing GSP versus Colby in wrestling, but what do you guys think? Do you got any interest in Colby versus Bo at the White House?
Go on, Austin. Take it away.
No! Fucking no! No, like unless he's gonna go fuck up like middleweights, like in a realistic sense. No, I have no interest. He doesn't fight very often, and last time I saw him fight, he got his ass kicked by fucking Joaquin Buckley. Get the fuck out of here, dude. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, you can't fucking go out of your way to be like, oh yeah, I just defeated Luke Rockhold. I could go out of my way to fucking do whatever I want because I'm going to Covington. Like, no, dude. Like, what are you fucking doing here? Like, you don't fight consistently. You fucking disappear. Like, Danny even said, why is he in the rankings and whatnot? Like, oh, take me off the rankings. Well, motherfucker, that's your only way to fucking have any real reason to fucking fight Bo Nickel at middleweight. What are we doing here, dude? You don't even fucking like go after legitimate guys who are fucking competitive. Like, you just, oh my God, this is just fucking infuriating to me, because it's like, okay, dude, if you really wanted to be like on the White House card, you would have fought sooner or later. I know Dana gifted him a fucking welterweight title shot fucking years ago, like twice. Like, I just like, dear God, man, the delusion. He has a better chance of just fucking having wrestle Bo Nickel like at the White House. Just do that. Fucking RAF is fucking backed by like that group. You could just have that. Just do that at the White House, because Dana's not gonna fucking put you on the card. No way. Fucking stupid.
Classic Austin. I love it.
I know you guys that one.
Dave saying, "Daddy, chill."
No, because it's stupid, man. Like, it'd be different if it was like, okay, Colby put on a great performance against some fucking schmoke at fucking middleweight. Like, he beats, I don't know, Paulo Costa or some shit. It's definitely not going to happen, but still. Like, if he had done that and be like, okay, I'd like to see it. I would be interested if he could do it. Michael Page went up and fucked around at middleweight and found 3 fucking wins. Why not? But he's not a middleweight. He's a decent size for welterweight, and he doesn't, again, he's older and he's still competitive in wrestling, but he's not doing anything in MMA. Why are we fucking talking about this? This is bullshit, I have more interest, honestly, in watching him wrestle, which is the weird thing, because I hate Colby.
Yeah. But he's actually good at wrestling. That's something the motherfucker could actually do well.
Yeah, he was competent in college. He was a good guy in competing, but I have no interest in watching him fight anymore.
Or didn't he wrestle at Oregon State? Wasn't that where he?
I believe so. I'd have to double check, but if I'm not mistaken,
yeah, he was a damn good collegiate wrestler. Super Dave saying he could hear your ulcer growing during this stream. So
it's getting there, man. It's getting there.
Yeah. So I mean, Colby, he looked really good last night. It's kind of the perfect setting for him, because it is more pro wrestling-esque. He's able to do the more elaborate walkouts and hype the crowd and do that sort of shit. And that's whether you like Colby or you hate Colby, he does have that pro wrestling element down. He is very WWE friendly. He has a shtick and a gimmick, and he was milking that shit last night. He was working it. Did some walkout with a big time country singer, had like a custom song from him. Austin, you would know him. I don't know him. Fuck was his name? Gilbert? Something Gilbert? Brandon Gilbert?
Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
Brantley Gilbert. I think it was Brantley Gilbert or something. Anyway, guy is supposedly a big star. It was a pretty cool thing. So Colby looked good. I would like to see him continue in RAF. Last thing to mention about RAF before we move on from that, I would like to bring up Arman Sarukian. Because speaking of guys that can fucking wrestle, dude, that dude looked fucking amazing. He looked incredible in there. Absolutely ragdolling his opponent. And the guy's name is escaping me right now. Let me take a look.
Lance Palmer.
Lance Palmer, that is correct. Who I reckon is a pretty accomplished wrestler, isn't he, Austin?
Yeah, he was a decent wrestler. He's also a former World Series of Fighting champion, and was a PFL tournament winner, I think, at one point. But but he was when PFL was the World Series of Fighting, he was like one of their staples at featherweight, and he had a great like 2-fight series with Andre Harris, and he was good back then, and he kind of fell out after the World Series of Fighting turned into the PFL, and he had been competitive at some points, but like he wasn't the guy anymore there. And I'm happy that he found a home at RAF. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
But very good wrestler, very accomplished.
Yeah, well, he got completely ragdolled by Sarukian last night, who just looked fucking incredible, coming off the tail end of ragdolling MMA Guru.
I was just going to say he looked pretty good taking out Guru.
Yeah, so I mean, he did the same thing to Lance Palmer, and cool thing with that one was like he ended it with a gut wrench, which is pretty big deal in wrestling. And like
that's not easy to do.
Yeah, and he was unsure if like the referee had seen it. And the match had like technically ended. It was like one of those deals where it happened right at the bell. But since he didn't know if the referee had seen it or not, he just grabbed the guy again and fucking gut wrenched him one more time real fast, just for like the sake of it. So he looked really fucking good. I mean, whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, man, like he's staying busy. He's keeping his name in the public's consciousness. And as we've all kind of agreed on this program, he's the obvious number one contender for the next shot at the lightweight title. So just hopefully the UFC starts to see him in a bit better of a light and kind of stop trying to punish him so much, because man, I want Arman to fucking get his shot, and whether it's versus Ilya or versus Patty or Justin, I don't care who it is, but that guy deserves a shot at the world title in the UFC.
Yeah, no,
Coming
agreed.
in 2027.
More than likely.
Well, he's young enough. He might be able to fucking last long enough to, because I don't even think he's 30 yet, right? So he's got time. It's stupid. It's all really stupid. I mean, if anything, I'm kind of hoping Ilya just fucking slips on a banana peel at some point and can't compete, so that way we get at least somebody in the fucking title fight. Whatever.
Yeah. Fortunate thing is he's got plenty of money, so I don't think he minds waiting. He's not doing it for the cash. He's doing it for the adulation and the fucking title belts and trophies on the shelf. But before we move on from RF completely, shout out to my guy WMC, who's popping up in the chat with a good mention here. Colby could be a good trainer. That's about it, but he's not wrong there. Colby would make a pretty good MMA coach. I think he'd be a solid in that role. So not a bad shout there. I ain't mad at that. And shout out to our guy Dave, Big Dave, mentioning the draft show, like we said at the top of this program, coming up Wednesday night. Once again, everybody be sure to be there Wednesday night when it premieres.
All the chaos.
Fireworks flew, and it was a hell of a time. We really enjoyed ourselves in this year's 2026 JBR
I hope
Fantasy
you all
Draft.
lose. I hope you all lose.
Don't miss the day of deceit, whatever you do.
Yep. That's perfectly labeled. And also, wrong one. I just pulled a mic hack. Screen moved on me while I was in the middle of fucking. Where'd it go? Give me a second.
Here we go.
I know. There he is. It's our guy, Too Much BHP. What's going on, BHP?
There you go. Nice.
Happy to have
My
you,
man
brother.
just up the road from me.
That's right.
Oh, real quick, Lazy. I did want to add real quick to RAF. So if you know, if you've ever wrestled, like it's not so much pro wrestling that people gravitate towards, because if you've ever wrestled in a competitive sense, like whether it be high school, collegiate in college, or internationally, or just locally, like small local tournaments and whatnot. Wrestlers will continue to watch wrestling in some aspect or another. So their biggest audience is actually former competitors and wrestlers and stuff like that. So that's never going to stop for them. So RAF may have a pipeline of actual continuous like watchers. So that's it. They don't need a huge audience, kind of like how bare knuckle has its own thing, right? They kind of MMA offset, right? That group will always be there for them. Will they ever make a ton of money off of it? No, because there's barely enough money to keep a international wrestling on in the Olympics and whatnot. So it's like the portal kind of changed up the way wrestling works, and colleges want to have competitive teams still. So the portal kind of like makes them allowable to make money now, but at least for the collegiate aspect. But still, like, there's always going to be a niche for them, and they're going to exist. So that's, if guys like Colby can make money over there, great. If it means that guys like Yoel can have a name stay, even if he's like 100 years old, fucking hey, good for him, man. That's awesome. That's all.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And also with the new what are those called, NIL deals, where the athletes are now being able to get paid and get sponsorships in college. So it's cool to have collegiate wrestlers have another option to do something quote unquote professional as they leave college wrestling, because if you don't make it to that Olympic level, it's one of the few sports where there's not really a very clear next step if you want to continue in that realm as a career, a full-time career. So if RAF can sustain things enough to provide an outlet for wrestlers that want to continue to wrestle once they're out of the college age, it's a good thing to have. I think, if you're not on that Olympic level, it's certainly a nice alternative. They clearly have a lot of funding coming in, because they're holding these events left and right. From Jan Pole here, Austin, is no special in a tent?
No, in a shed. It's got soundproofing on it, like a bunch of tarps and stuff like that. So it looks like a tent, not a tent, but it is a shed.
According to Dave, you are in the learning center that you run in your backyard.
Yes. Yes.
I'm curious about the blue and white flag, but what's that?
Oh, it's not a flag. It's not a flag. It's more tarp.
All right, fair enough. Looks like a flag. I was curious.
It's just
This is, if I'm not mistaken, the boys' practice band room, right? And those boys are on their way to do something important. If you want to give them a shout out.
Yeah. Their name is Limbo, and they are heading to Los Angeles to record. I think they are leaving later today to pack up. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to kind of skedaddle out of here so they can get going. But they are going to record their first album. So keep a lookout for Limbo. Yeah.
Limbo. Let's fucking go. Maybe someday they can record the official JBR theme song.
I already got a couple of things in mind.
Let's fucking go. Shout out. That's super cool. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Take a quick look at the chat here, see if we got any questions I missed. I don't believe we do. No. Okay, so we'll move it on now to the next topic. And I was going to do a little bit of freak fights and strange oddball fights that I watched over this past weekend, but we'll skip over that for now. We'll move it along to some actual fight announcements, because, boys, we got a fucking lot of them. Over the last few days, especially, but really since the last time we met for a actual weekend roundup, there has been a litany of fights announced for this new Paramount era and for the first several events going forward on this new platform. And while I won't mention all of them, because I'm telling you, there's literally a shit ton, there's probably like 40 fights that have been announced, there's a good number that we should probably bring up. So I guess what I'll do is I will run through this list, and if you have something to say, chime in or stop me. But there's a good number of these things here. Starting with the return of the man caught up and embroiled in the betting scandal when he choked out one Isaac Dalgarian. I'm talking about the Cuban, Yadier Del Valle, who is going to make his return to face Jordan Levitt. That's right, the twerking man, the Monkey King, Jordan Levitt.
That's what I was trying to think of the other day when I was saying the guy who twerks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't
So that's a pretty solid fight there. That's a pretty good one. There are a couple of solid grapplers.
Yeah, could be a decent one.
We also
just watch the betting on it. That's all.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, don't do that to him.
He'll finally get a chance to actually prove that wasn't a fluke on his part. But yeah, also announced, actually just today announced, and this is an interesting one. King Green makes his return, coming back off of that split decision win over the debuting Lance Palmer, was it? Just actually a couple weeks ago, it seems, maybe a month now. But he's going to make his return, and it's going to be against Daniel Zellhuber. Pretty nice scrap there.
Okay.
You think about that one, Austin?
He's in. Well, depending on which Zellhuber shows up, so he's either gonna get destroyed, or he might just win a sneaky decision.
Yes, that is a good point, because we all remember what happened last time Zellhuber fought Michael Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He was a very similar fighter to Bobby Green.
Yeah, just a bit.
All right. How about this one? Dan Ige versus Melky Costa. Whew.
I don't know if we should talk about that one, to be honest.
We can talk about it, but we don't have to talk about it. You know what I mean? We can talk about it. We can talk about it. That's a good one, though. That is a banger. Melky finally getting a shot at a ranked guy. Good to see him, coming off of a big 2025, now having a chance to crack into that top 15.
Yeah, I mean, he did win 4 in a row last year. So.
Yep. What about this one? Chidi Njokuani back again. Can't believe he's still on the roster, getting up there in age, but still doing the damn thing. He's going to be taking on former LFA product, maybe the guy with the most questionable back knee in the UFC, Carlos Leal. Chidi Njokuani versus Carlos Leal. Underrated banger there. That one's going to be a fun scrap.
Yeah, good one. Yeah, I'll go for Chidi because Leal is coming off a KO loss.
Very good point as well.
I haven't looked at
Let's go to the chat real quick. Jan Pole telling me I'm racist. I don't know what I said that was even remotely racist, but all right. Yes, and I would agree with Biva here. Melky Costa deserves that step up. I think we're all in agreement with that.
Absolutely. He's
Dalmatian.
almost completed his transformation. He's not really Dalmatian. As I said in the last one, he's more looking like a white Labrador now.
Zombie with the chitty bang bang. Shout out also to his brother Anthony Njokuani, the OG, the original of the two Njokuani brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Another fun fighter.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, he was. He was from your area too, Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhat, kind of.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, California remote area.
I'm surprised. Spoiler here, I'm surprised no one picked Bobby Green for the draft, actually. He's quite reliable for 3 fights a year, isn't he, I think, usually? Yeah,
but do you want to just do the same thing with Kevin Holland, or you're not going to bet on him for, winning?
That is point, yeah. A lot of activity in the chat. Apparently, Jan thinks No Special is some kind of Unabomber. He's not.
Come on!
He's not. He lives in California. They don't have guns in California. It's not a proper American state.
Oh, we have guns out here. There's a lot of rednecks that live out here, but nah, man. I have a tent that's not a tent. It's a shed.
You can't even own a 50 cal. I don't believe in California, and I could buy one here.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna fucking use it on? A fucking pigeon?
I'm not sure. Quite happily on our prime minister at the moment, but no, unfortunately.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's obviously just a joke. I'm just playing a character.
Fucking.
While we're at the touch on this again, fuck ICE. So just make that clear.
Agreed.
Fuck ICE.
Yeah, agreed. Fuck ICE.
And Jan Paul, I was talking about their fighting styles, hands down, quick punches. Not much kicks, pretty much slick boxers. I wasn't referring to anything else.
Quiet Dave.
Yeah. Not a chance, Dave. Not a chance.
Well, they're both like on the older side too, and that's the thing. Like you would have thought those type of fighters that were like boxing centric and just kind of like not journeyman. I don't want to call them journeyman. Well, actually, they are journeyman because they've been around for like fucking almost 15 years now. Both of them.
Good God, yeah.
You know, yeah. They're like they're not too far from the rankings, which is insane.
Yeah, they're both
Ugh.
from like the Strikeforce era, more or less, like WEC Strikeforce era. Like it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say like just after WEC got absorbed, I think they both. I don't know if they were both in the WEC prior to that moment, but I think they had been in the UFC long enough. Like when Strikeforce got bought in, you're like, oh, okay, these guys are here. You know, like fucking Justin Gaethje's first fight in the UFC was against Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Michael Johnson, the dude that slept fucking Dustin Poirier, fucking put him on his back very early in Dustin's entrance into the UFC. Michael Johnson, you know,
No, lightweight, because he was in featherweight before that.
But Michael Johnson, one of our own Super Dave's favorite fighters, he's always quick to shout out MJ.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Yeah, I don't know how we got off the topic completely there, but we'll get back to the topic with the rest of these fight announcements because there is some more good ones in here. Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber 2 back on the docket, guys. Big one in the women's division.
What is the point of that fight? I'm confused by it because Macy's like, I know she's not like the girl in the top 10 that everyone's chiming her as the next like championship level fighter. They're just kind of like, okay, she's the next person there, but like, what? I don't understand this matchmaking at all.
I think they're trying to still invest and build Macy because I think they still have hopes for her for some reason. And I think that it's just kind of in my opinion, a pretty decent get right fight for Alexa. I think this is a pretty winnable fight for Alexa. I think that, what's Macy's best path to victory? It's the physicality, it's the forward aggression, it's letting her hands go and just kind of being a wild woman. And I think Alexa's technical boxing and experience and stuff like that should be enough for her to probably get this win. So I think it's kind of a win-win maybe in their eyes. It's a chance for Macy to maybe get a big scalp if Alexa has truly fallen off. And it's also a chance for Alexa to right the ship and kind of get back on track if she's able to. I don't know though. It's also it's a marketable fight.
Yeah, hopefully Alexa's relearned how to use her hands.
Mm-hmm.
Or defend a takedown.
Yeah, and to defend a takedown. Yeah, of course.
It's certainly two faces that they can stick on a poster that's going to catch casuals' attention. Like, oh, I know those two faces. I know who those two people are. Like,
no patas today.
Well, while we're also talking about women, we should mention Tatiana Suarez is coming back, and she's going to be taking on none other than Lupe Godinez. That's a banger, guys. That's a banger right there.
The Lupe's sister is was I think a qualifier for the Olympics via Canada. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but I think both her sisters are like top tier athletes in their fields. I don't remember what the other one does, but one of them is a wrestler or like something along those lines.
I would love for fucking Lupe to win. I think she's capable.
The weird one about that one is it seemed like the perfect fight to stick on the Mexico card, but I'm pretty sure they didn't. I think it's in like Seattle or something like that. Strange choice there. Would have been a fun fight to put in Mexico.
Yeah, I like Lupe. I didn't pick her this year, but I think I picked her last year or the other year in something anyway. I guess they're fighting. I guess they're fighting to see who's going to get a crack at the champion. Because looking at the rankings at the moment, Lupe's ranked second.
I was going to say
Tatiana is ranked second. We've got Zhang Weili in first ranking. Obviously, Mackenzie Dern at the top. And I guess it depends whether these two will get whoever wins this fight might get a fight against Dern before Zhang gets her go and takes her belt back, because we know that Mackenzie's not keeping it.
Yeah, I think that's
Foregone
the thing, too.
conclusion.
So yeah, at least it's a strap that has some meaning in it. You know, we're looking at changing positions in the top 10. So yeah, very good.
Yeah,
and they really, man, like they basically have matched up almost like it seems like every woman in each of the 3 divisions over the last few days. Like there's so many women's fights announcements, including
thank God.
including Carly Judice, crispy Carly Judice with those fast, crispy hands. She's back and she's taking on Juliana Miller. Ugh, terrible. Juliana Miller's horrible.
I can't. I think I vaguely know, but I can't think much about her.
She won tough a couple years back, and I don't know fucking how.
She's not consistent.
No, one of the worst fighters on the roster.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd look her up.
But you might be hearing about that fight again here pretty soon, so we'll move on from that.
So this is another dodgy topic to bring up.
Oh, how about another dodgy one? Because this one is Elijah Smith, who is back, and he's taking on Su Young Yu, the young Elijah Smith, second generation UFC fighter, hot prospect, highly touted, and another guy that you're probably going to be hearing mentioned quite a few times this upcoming year. Hint, hint.
I wonder why.
Oh, what do you know? Here's another one. Dropping more hints than a fucking. I don't even know.
Really should stop this at the moment. Concentrate on fights that don't affect the draft.
Okay, well, how about Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez? That's a good one. Casey finally back. She's been laid off for a long ass time. Taking on Gabby Fernandez, who is the woman that stole the O of Wong Tong. So that's going to be a fun scrap. A couple of good grapplers. How about well, these ones, I feel like I can mention these ones.
Dave shouted it as well. No spoiler, says Dave.
Well, I feel like
I think he was just trying to hit at which ones were in the show, but
I feel like I could mention these ones because these are borderline. What about Marcin Tybura taking on the heel hook master, Walter Walker? Does Walter get his 5th heel hook in a row?
It's quite possible. You never know.
he has to. It's not like fucking Tybura is known as like this straight anti grappler. He goes into it. So watch Vegas for that bet.
Oh yeah, and Marcin's going to be all too keen to get in a grappling situation too.
Yeah, Marcin Tybura, the guy who Mike Heck could not remember for his Hail Mary question on Prop Quiz.
Oh yes, the Derek Lewis question.
Yeah, I was sat at home going, Marcin Tybura. Mike couldn't hear me, so he didn't cash.
Yeah, and Mike is supposed to be like the biggest Derek Lewis fan. He fucking
as he said, he cares about the fights that are upcoming for Derek. He doesn't care about fights he's had in the past.
That's a classic. That's the Luke Thomas excuse. That's the when LT was on there. Oh, okay, all right. Here's another one that I can mention. I can mention this one. Mason Jones, the Welshman, back again, and he's taking on the returning Axel Sola. Axel Sola, who had a successful debut not too long ago, came in undefeated, I believe, on a contender. Mason Jones, a tough, classic Welsh fighter, lots of heart, lots of determination, not afraid to get gritty and grimy. I think that fight is going to be a big one to watch. Two good prospects in that lightweight division. Oh yeah, now I remember him. He was the dude who showed up like short notice at welterweight, right? In was it Paris? Yeah, he's like a fucking tall lightweight. Yeah, that's a okay, cool. I get that. I like that. I like that one. Yeah, that's a banger. That's a banger. I think we lost DangerMouse. No. We lost DangerMouse. So he'll be back with us in just a moment, I'm sure of it. Yes, there he is. There he is.
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I was pressing buttons at the bottom of my screen and I kicked myself out, I think. just you were talking about Mason Jones, who, UK fighter, Welshman, on a 6-fight win streak. I've got his Tapology page open here. And who's he? Yeah, Axel Soller. Didn't know anything about him. Was quite looking forward to it. I almost picked, it is a minor spoiler, I almost picked Mason Jones. He was on my initial team list. And the only fact that I didn't pick him is because he only ever fights twice a bloody year. And that's no good for my draft. But yeah, looking forward to that one. It should be a good fight. Mason's a tough kid.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to fucking go toe-to-toe. Like, they're not going to hesitate and back down from swinging them things. They're going to go at it. They're two guys willing to have a scrap. Also, speaking of two guys willing to have a scrap, I had to skip the one that I wanted to bring up because of reasons. But what about this one? Vitor Petrino, who, after making the move up from light heavyweight to heavyweight, has been on a tear, and he's taken on a man who's been on a bit of a skid, another former light heavyweight, Kennedy Nzechukwu. Petrino versus Nzechukwu. I think it's pretty clear who to side with here, even though he's going to be a much smaller man. I'm going to side with Petrino in this one. I don't know about you guys.
I'm just brought him up on Tapology. Yeah, looking at him, yeah.
Yeah,
well, because they're both kind of like failed light heavyweights, right? So one of them has been performing better at heavyweight, and the other one is still trying to find his footing in it. So yeah, you got to go for the guy who's more of the better grappler of the two, and that's Vitor Petrino.
Vitor has quite a fun record. I was just looking there. He beat Modestus Bukauskas back in 2023, and then somehow he lost to Anthony Smith. I'd forgotten that.
He just walked into he walked into a guillotine. That was it. He just let it happen, which was the fucking weirdest thing. And just Anthony Smith's like, "Oh, back in it, guys! I did it! Yeah, protecting my family and shit." Like, god damn it, man!
I remember
who gave him hope?
I remember coming on this very show, this very channel, rather, the day after that fight and saying, oh, God, now Anthony Smith's going to think he's back in it and he's got renewed title hopes. And sure enough, he fucking
on
did.
Paper, I'm better.
Yeah, he lost the very next fight. Classic. Okay, two more that we could mention. I'll just rattle both these off in a row because they're not the greatest fights, but they should be slobber knockers, barn burners. Umar C. booked just today to take on Jan Cutelaba. Now, neither of those guys are gonna, I don't think, ever see the top end of the division. Not Jan at this point in his career, and I don't think Umar's cut from that cloth. But they are two guys who are willing to have a scrap and go head to head. Never seen a hesitant or timid Jan Cutelaba fight, so that should be a banger. And then also the return of Iwo Baranowski, who is coming off of that crazy fight with Ibo Aslan, I think it was, when they had that absolutely insane round. But he's back, and he's taken on a man who gets knocked out almost more beautifully than anyone, Austin Lane.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. Who, I don't know how he still has a job. It's beyond me, but those are two fights that should be fun slobber knockers. Guys, someone's going to sleep, so... Anything to say about those two fights? I didn't think so.
No.
Not really, no.
Somebody's going to bed. That's all there is to know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just checking out Austin Lane. Oh, yeah, he's the former American football player, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the one he gets knocked out in the first round every single fucking time if he goes up against a hitter.
Yep.
I need to see faces with UFC fighters, usually.
Yeah.
He's also the one. Did he do the poking or did he get poked? I think it was him versus Atafa.
Yeah, he poked Justin Tafa in the eye by accident because he was doing that thing where you kind of leave your fingers out. Poked him in the eye, no contest, and then he gets the rematch and Tafa just fucking nukes him.
Yeah, I remember that specifically because that eye poke was bad, dude. He had like his whole finger in there, and he's got some long fingers, so he was getting probed.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
He's a big boy.
As Bebop points out, taking on Austin Lane is like a rite of passage for upcoming heavyweights. True story.
Pretty much.
If you're going to be somebody, you're going to get a chance to KO Austin Lane.
Yeah.
All right, we can go a couple more minutes here. What have we gone, about an hour now? Yeah, close to an hour. We'll go a few more minutes,
close
wrap
to.
things up. If anybody's got any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. It's currently snowing here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, we just got done with the rain not too long ago here, and I woke up this morning and the house was like 45 degrees.
Ooh,
Not too bad. Not too bad.
that's chilly for Cali.
Oh yeah. We got a higher elevation where we're at here, so
Very true. Very true. Let's take a look at some more of these chats.
Talking about the weather, you turn in English.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Is this true, Dave? Austin Lane's an Iridium fighter? I would believe that, and that would make sense. Why he's still?
I mean, I don't know if you could sell a knockout better than he can. Apparently,
is that his management company?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the Jason House management. The one of the dicier, fishier managers in the UFC.
Okay.
I don't know what that translates to, Biva, but I imagine it's...
Jesus wept. That was hot. That is well over 100.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. You're dealing with it. Stay cool.
Oh,
stay inside.
Yes. There you go. Yeah. Stay in the shade.
That's California.
Drink plenty of fluids.
I met a girl in Amsterdam, Kate, and she was from the west coast of Australia, Perth way, and she said they used to have all the 40-degree summers, and she loved them. She would be out all the time in the 40 degrees. I was like, wow, that's absolutely crazy. I've been out in like 30-odd degrees, and that's hot enough.
I'm too pasty for that. I would need some like SPF 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always asking what it is in freedom units.
Question here from our guy Rob Loria. What would be worse for the UFC? Tom not being able to fight again because of his eye injuries, or Gable Steveson coming into the UFC and just as terrible? Who wants to go first?
The Danger can go first on this one.
Okay. Well, just a quick update there. 43 degrees Celsius is a 109.4 Fahrenheit. So I think that's pretty much. Yeah. Which would be worse for the UFC? Tom not being able to fight again, or Gable stooping in and just doing terrible? I don't think Gable's going to come and do terrible. I think that's highly unlikely. Unless he proves to have a glass chin. We haven't seen him get clacked yet, have we? We've just seen him destroy people in Tom style. You know, he doesn't leave people in the cage for very long. For me, obviously, it would be worse for Tom not to fight again because he's an English champion and I like the guy. And it would be horrible just because it's not even his fucking fault. It was because of Cyril Gann and his disgusting fingernails. So yeah, for me, Tom not being able to fight again. If Gable Stevenson came in and got knocked out for his first 3 fights, wouldn't give a damn. I'd just find it funny because I don't care about him. But yeah, for me, obviously, Tom.
What about you, Austin? What do you think? What should be worse for the UFC?
For the UFC, it'd probably be Tom. Like because Gable's not in the UFC yet. So I would say business-wise, you're probably looking at Tom not fighting. Although you could argue that, like, for the American audience, having a new heavyweight with a name like Gable Steveson, regardless of the situation he had to, kind of, maneuver around. He's an Olympic gold medalist, and he has a name. Comes over into the UFC, he might have a bigger name. And honestly, if he fails at any point, like, that's bad for them because that's a buildable star for them. So, because let's face it, Tom and the UFC are not in the best position. So if the US audience can't gravitate towards Tom in the same way that they have for former champions of heavyweight, it might be better if they get a new face eventually, Stevenson, and it would probably benefit them if he does pretty well, because whatever the situation ends up being with Tom, I think it's going to be hard for them to kind of continue to promote him as is to begin with. So because they've sucked at it to begin with. So
Well, let's be honest. You Yanks are desperately trying to find a champion at the moment for a league, for a division. So yeah, I missed the first part of that question. Yeah, yeah, because of the impact that the American audience has on UFC and the way UFC goes. I guess Gable Stevenson flopping would not be good. Like I said, it would just be funny because obviously he's been backed by John Jones, so that would be fucking hilarious if he came to the UFC and just
I agree. Yeah,
lost 4 fights in a row and got booted straight out. I would laugh my ass off. I would laugh for days.
Yeah, for me, I think I would probably lean towards Gable and doing horrible, probably being worse, because I think they could, as valuable as Tom Aspinall is, and you know, as much of a star as he is in the UK and the surrounding areas, I think that they could very easily bounce back from losing just about any of their champions. But to have a name scheduled and like slated to come in that a lot of people are anticipating, that's going to bring a ton of buzz from the outside world, good or bad. I think that that's something that's good, would be a much larger ripple effect if he did come in and not pan out, because they got the potential to make a lot of money if Gable comes in and does do what everyone's expecting him to do, because that will be a huge feather in their cap for American audiences to have Gable Stevenson as your heavyweight champion, to be able to put his face on pay-per-view posters and roll him out there for all types of media shit. And yeah, that would be, you could tell they're creaming in their pants hoping that happens.
Need another heavyweight champ with criminal convictions. It's essential.
Oh my God.
It's par for the course in mixed martial arts.
Dave loves some dodgy stuff in his background. I didn't realize. I think it was Ronin MMA that I was watching when he was talking about him.
Yeah, he's done some nefarious things. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I never answered the question earlier about Colby Covington and Bo Nickel at the White House. No, don't give a damn.
Shout out to DJ Serenity Now, who says, "By God, I'm late, but at least you're here. You made it in time. That's what matters."
Yeah, just for us to close the door.
We've got it gone a few more minutes.
Yeah, we got some
time.
We got some time. Yeah, I would agree with Biva here. Gable will be given an easy matchup or two before being pushed into a title shot. I will tell you. I will tell you. I feel I can say this, and I think that saying this won't be divulging too much or saying anything that people wouldn't want me to say. I'm hearing little birdies are talking. Gable Stevenson, likely, pretty high likelihood of debuting on the White House card. And I've heard a couple of names kicked around for his potential opponents. 2 names in particular. One is Max Jimenez, who you will barely recall, debuted, I think it was a Contender Series fight over this past fall. He was the guy that, big bald guy, I can't even think of who he fought, but he's like a BJJ guy, and he sucked. He looked absolutely horrible. So
what's his name again?
Max Jimenez, I'm pretty sure is his name.
I'm just looking on the Tapology heavyweight rankings, and I can't see that guy. They've got 41 fighters listed.
There you go. He's only had 1 fight, and he did not do very well. But the other name being kicked around is a name that we just mentioned a little bit ago. Tafa, baby. Oh. Big old Justin Tafa. Possibility of facing Gable Stevenson at the White House. That's what I'm hearing. But they want Gable on that White House card.
Double leg all day.
Yep. Easy money.
Junior Tafa's ranked 25th at the moment. He's got a fight against Billy Elicana scheduled.
Justin. The Justin is the larger of the Tafas. Junior's the smaller. So
is it?
Justin.
Okay. Oh, he must be higher ranked then, is it?
I doubt it.
That's heavyweight, so I don't think it matters. Oh, Jesus.
Too bad for Stevenson, because MMA media is well known for its hard-hitting journalism and holding truth to power. Yeah, absolutely, B-Ball. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see
I mean,
the heavyweight division at the moment.
no, I mean, especially the guys that they have going there. A lot of the times, they just kind of ask. There's a lot more social media personalities that show up there now, just to kind of like blow Dana or like whoever it is that they're talking to. But they want to keep their cushiness with the UFC and not jeopardize their ability to get access to fighters, so that they won't ever challenge any of the calls that they do. They will outside of the event, but not during it. So it is what it is.
Oh, okay. And to clarify, the guy that I was talking about is Max Jimenez, Gimenez.
Yeah, I'm looking at him now. Ranked 40, 0-1 in the UFC.
Yeah, I believe he's the guy that lost to Josh Hockett.
Hockett, right hook,
Yeah.
0.56, round 1 of 3.
That annoying son of a bitch, Josh Hockett, who's going to go far based on athleticism alone and the sheer shittiness of the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
This is often the case. Hey, shout out to our guy Hank Hill popping in, flexing on him. Let's go. We got here from Rob Loria. Another one for you. What more likely to happen out of these two scenarios? Topuria fights twice this year, or Hamzat doesn't defend the belt and moves up to light heavyweight? Ooh.
Oh, dear God. Ugh.
I'll go first.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Let me go first. I think that. Oh, geez. I hate to say it, but I think it's more likely Hamzat doesn't defend the belt and moves up to light heavyweight. I've seen that they already have, or they had at the start of the year, futures bets on Hamzat to be light heavyweight champion at the end of 2026. So sportsbooks already thinking it's a possibility. I've heard a lot of talking heads mentioning it and bringing it up. Obviously, he's hinted at it. Things could be opening up at light heavyweight here very soon. Some things could be changing there. So I don't know. I would say that it's much more likely that Hamzat doesn't defend the belt and moves up than Ilya fighting twice in the year.
I'm the opposite. I can't see Hamzat not defending the belt at least once this year, and he might want to try. He might want to try and move up to light heavyweight. But again, don't forget the UFC does ultimately have the power to just say no, you're staying at middleweight, and he might do that to him until he's defended the belt a couple of times. So the UFC's turned a little bit on these multiple champions. They need a reason for you to go up, and I don't think that was a good enough one. Ilya fighting twice this year could happen as long as he gets back for middle of the year for maybe the White House card, something like that, and then another defense late in the year, maybe Madison Square Garden, something like that. I don't know. I don't think Ilya will fight twice this year, and I don't think that Hamzat will move up to light heavyweight this year either.
But you think it's more likely that Ilya doesn't, instead of Chimaev just abandoning middleweight?
Well, it says which one's more likely to happen.
Which one?
I don't think either of them will happen.
Which one, if you had to pick?
Well, he picked Ilya, didn't you? He thinks it's more likely Ilya would compete twice.
Okay, yeah, that's.
Yeah, but yeah, I think there's more chance of that happening than Hamzat moving up to light heavyweight. But I don't think either of them is going to happen. One fight from Ilya, one defense from Hamzat, maybe two. You never know. He won't move up to light heavyweight.
I am the opposite of you then, because I think he's just going to abandon his title and not maybe defend it, or he loses his title and then moves up anyways, because I think Nasruddin Imavov fucks him up. But that's just my opinion. But let's say he doesn't, because he's inconsistent with his own fight career. Like he has bragged about trying to fight everybody for God knows how long, and then he's even fucking flirted with fucking fighting Potan even before then. Like he's more willing to abandon his position, because I don't think it's so much the title that he cared about. It's more or less just like, that's my target. That's my guy. I need to go after him. And Ilya, for better or for worse, is a star in this organization, especially where he's at, in Europe. But I think they're playing it safe with him. That's why they're like doing the interim title fight. They don't know what's going to happen. That's why they have a guy in Max Holloway who has a BMF title. So right now they have 3 titles at lightweight. They don't really need Ilya because they have 2 other people who can hold a title. So I think they're okay with him not fighting the first half of the year if they really just want to just wait, because they don't need him to fight. But they would like him to fight at some point. I think he's more likely to fight once at the end of the year. But like I don't think they even care if Khamzat like holds the title because of how shitty that like the title fight was. So they're like, all right, well, either you defend or not. We just can't have you had two titles. Like you said, they're gonna strip him of what are the titles, what are the ways.
Yeah,
that's all.
Well, and 2 things to mention on that before we move on. One, for the Ilya side, divorce proceedings, they can drag on and they could really take quite a while, especially when you're also dealing with a custody battle. So he's going through both those things. He's got a divorce proceedings going on with a lot of money and finances and things like that wrapped up in there. I don't know what kind of prenuptial agreement, if any, they had. And then also the custody situation with his kids. So there's a likelihood and a possibility that we don't see Ilya Taporia at all in 2026. That could happen. And then on the other side of the coin with Khamzat, I don't know how much I want to touch on this, but there's some stories emerging from that part of the world that maybe a certain world leader is going through some health issues, and things could be changing for Khamzat's life here pretty soon too. In what way remains to be seen, but maybe certain strings that are holding him down may become untethered here soon, possibly. We'll find out.
You can only hope.
I don't want to get shot or executed.
Yeah, as Bevo said in the chat that I haven't seen it, I like to believe Chimaev wants to move up, if only to have a belt of his own, because Kadyrov has yet to return the middleweight one.
That's good.
I still can't forget the picture of him like in the gym training after he won the belt, and there's that giant fucking mural of Kadyrov on the wall. It's like an entire back wall, and they took this weird ass picture of him like with his back to the camera, like staring up at the fucking mural, like it's a fucking hero picture worship of God. Like it's just ridiculous, wild shit.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, if you happen to live in a country, or your family happens to live in a country that's ruled by a warlord who has very little regard for humanity and human life, quite possibly, maybe you do try and keep that guy on your side. You really don't want to upset him. There are facts.
Getting pretty close to that here. Getting pretty close to that same shit here.
Look at what's his name, Saddam Hussein's son, the one who used to torture football players if they missed goals or whatever.
Yeah. Crazy trying times. Thank God we got the UFC coming back in just 2 weeks so we can start focusing on things that don't matter again. Let's go.
Yeah.
We need distraction
coming as well for next week, I think. That's right, isn't it?
That is true. Yeah. Next week, we do have a preview show coming up that we will be recording. Sunday, I would reckon we'll probably record it. Maybe we'll do it live. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just record it and release it. Who knows? Who's the check? We'll find out soon enough.
I think
and then once again,
it's easier for Dave if we pre-recorded.
And before we do close up and wrap up here today, I would like to point out once again, make sure you tune back in to Just Bleed Radio on Wednesday night. We'll have the link up soon. It'll be all there and ready to go for you guys because it's coming. The 2026, the second annual, was it second or third? I think it's the second annual JBR Fantasy Draft. It went down just yesterday. And boy, it was a fucking doozy. We had ourselves a time. The best of times, the worst of times. It was really fun. Things started out heated, and they continued to get better throughout the show. So, a fantastic draft coming your way on Wednesday night.
Threats were issued and everything.
Yeah. Well, we are just now reaching the hour and 20-minute mark, and it's almost the top of the hour. So I figure this is as good of a time to close things as any, unless you guys got something else to add.
No, it's time to go and watch Submission Radio. So everyone in the chat, go and watch Submission Radio with Dennis. And ta-ra from me.
Oh, yeah. It's a very special Submission Radio today, too, with our pal, our good buddy, Long Island Luke from the Main Card Minute, and Uncle Kenny Florian. What a lineup today on Sub Radio.
Good night, Jan.
Any last words from you, Austin? Any closing words?
No, it's Sunday. Gotta go to work tomorrow, but I'm gonna barbecue, have a couple of drinks, and man, I can't wait for goddamn MMA to come back in this sense. I am losing my mind.
Well, if you haven't lost your mind yet, listening to us carry on for all this time, and you've managed to stick around for the entire length of this show, please do, before you get out of here, smash the like button, hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and also, if you can, once this live closes out and wraps up, leave a comment once the show is finished. Hit the refresh, let the comments come up, leave us a comment because that'll help out the algorithm here. But yeah, until next time, until we speak to you guys on Wednesday night for the JBR 2026 Fantasy Draft, I'm LazyBed. They've been DangerMouse and No Special, and we're getting the fuck out of here. Later, dudes.
We're done it. Yeah!